Get to know the real story of New Mexico through the eyes of historians, storytellers, artists, photographers, and scientists.
Yes, the Story of New Mexico is a lecture series available through the University of New Mexico's continuing education program that celebrates the land of enchantment. And joining us with the details are Joan Cok, who supervises the Story of New Mexico. And we are so happy to have you with us this morning. Thanks for joining.
It's good to be here.
Good morning. Yeah, this sounds so exciting. Tell us about your program.
The Story of New Mexico actually began in the late 1960s by the Junior League.
Okay.
And it took place at the airport. That's where the meetings happened.
Okay.
And it got to be so large that the Junior League gave it to continuing education, and it's been there ever since. It was actually called the Story of Albuquerque at that time.
Was it because people that were traveling in wanted to know more about the state? Is that how it all started?
Yes, and it's basically exists to acquaint the folks with the state, both those that have lived here a long time and newcomers to New Mexico. It acquaints them with the history, the culture, the diversity, the flavor of New Mexico.
It enchants them.
It is really a treasure here, and I don't think a lot of people realize that when they visit here. It's so important to have a program like this.
And get a little history. So who are the actual instructors?
The instructors are geologists, writers, storytellers, scientists, adventurers, anthropologists, archaeologists, just lots of different folks. And lots of good things happen when folks go on trips with these guides. They're basically classroom, hands-on classrooms, the trips and the tours.
The best experience possible, the best teaching possible is through hands-on. Absolutely.
We also work with main campus, UNM. We've had a tour also with a miner, a former miner at the Santa Rita mine.
Wow.
And on main campus, we have had a tour by Dr. Peter White. He has a studio and a classroom on campus where he teaches the students not only to play the violin, but to make violins fine quality.
Did you say his name was Dr. White?
Yes, Dr.
Okay, this
Peter
is
White.
not the same Dr. White as on Breaking Bad.
Oh, no, not Walter White. Not that teacher.
Right.
That's funny.
He gave us an amazing tour. He's an American and European taught violin maker. And Braswell, who works in the anthropology department, gives us wonderful tours of Chaco Canyon and outlier pueblos.
Something for everyone.
Well, what have been some of your most popular trips and lectures about?
We've had trips to Chaco Canyon. That's one of the most popular. That happens every spring and every fall.
It's fun.
And the Georgia O'Keeffe Home and Studio Tour.
Yes. Here's a look at Chaco right there.
It's gorgeous.
Beautiful. I talked to Jessica Garate, and she was saying that she and her husband went up there. And it was just breathtaking.
Right.
I haven't made it there yet. I really would love to. I think it's... And now, what are we looking at here?
This is the Vista Badlands.
Okay.
And Kurt Kempter, who also works for National Geographic and the Smithsonian, gives us these Vista Badland tours, as well as lots of other geology spots in New Mexico.
That's nice.
He's just a wonderful guide.
Well, you know, students are actually going to find themselves captivated by the stories of struggle, failure, success, and triumph experienced by New Mexicans as well. Is it possible you could share with us a couple of the stories that you personally found the most compelling?
I find the Lungers story, where the folks that came to New Mexico in the early 1900s and wanted to be cured of tuberculosis, I find that story very interesting.
It's fascinating.
And actually we're going to have a lecture by the Centennial Storytellers in the fall who are going to tell us about that story.
Wow.
Mal Palmer in the fall is going to tell us about trading on the Santa Fe Trail. The person she's going to talk about is France Huning, and I find the Santa Fe Trail and everything that's connected to that quite fascinating as well.
It really is.
It's beautiful. And so that's the big special event coming up?
Well, no.
There's another event, right?
There are things where we have openings and people can sign up for. One of the special events, we've got one spot on the bus for the Santa Fe Opera, Pearl Fishers. And when you sign up for Pearl Fishers or a Santa Fe Opera, that's also one of our popular tours, you get the coach ride up, you get dinner on the grounds, a gourmet catered dinner, a wonderful lecture by Desiree Mays, who's a world-famous opera lecturer.
Yes.
And then the opera, and then what's really wonderful is you don't have to drive back. You can get back on the bus and come home.
The party ain't over till the fat lady sings.
And we've also got room on the Chaco Canyon tour coming up Labor Day weekend, September 2.
It's going to be right around the corner, guys, really.
Right. If you haven't been there, or you haven't been there for 20 years, that's the way to go, because you really don't want to drive your own car over the bumpy road.
Good point.
So that's a bus.
So if you've been living here all your life, it's a great way to kind of refresh your knowledge of the state and learn some new things. And if you're just moving here or you're new here, this is a great way to learn firsthand what the state has to offer. And how can our viewers get more information, Joan?
They can either call 277-0077 or register online at dce.unm.edu to sign up for the classes. You could go online and check out all these trips and lectures, Story of New Mexico.
Fantastic.
All right. That sounds wonderful. Thank you
we
so
learned
much.
a little bit more about our state today, and I know a lot of our viewers did as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me on.
And you know what? You'll want to stick around for this, because you can improve your quality of life with a little help from the docs at Red River Health and Wellness. Catch my recent interview with them coming up next on New Mexico Style.